What's up, Beeros Drive gang? Hope everybody had a good weekend. Just kind of celebrating a little bit of a victory Chiefs Tuesday after a pretty resounding win Monday night against what most people thought was the best team in the AFC. So I know a lot of us are happy out there. Had some fantasy implications as well, but I got to rep my Patrick, don't call him Pat, Mahomes jersey for the day and the flag in the background. So hopefully you all enjoy that for this week's video. Quick recap. Had some really close games and had a couple big blowouts. First blowout on the board, Ross Wilson beat me by about 50 points. And that's not really an exaggeration. I feel like he crushed me pretty good. I used my chaos rule, took Derrick Henry out of the lineup. Derrick Henry did have kind of his first good game of the year, but it really didn't help me a whole lot. Partially because Ross just got to go in and pick up Christian McCaffrey's backup. So whoever had Christian McCaffrey, I think it was Rob, maybe, or AJ, one of the two, get hurt and then not pick up his backup. Awesome, thanks, appreciate that. That might have helped. Probably wouldn't have helped though, because Ross's team just like crushed it overall. And he actually ended up with the highest score of the week, barely. So he'll get to pick the team name and logo for someone we'll be mentioning in the next game. Thankfully, Kyler's team put up a bigger stinker than mine, and I can keep my name. Kyler will be the lowest score, 78 points, and Mullins beat him by about 20 or 25. So Mullins gets to change his name back to what he had. He had the Jackhammer Jill moniker for 2 weeks, or was it 1 week? I'm not sure. Ross, go ahead and let Kyler know what you want his name and logo to be for the week, or maybe more. Next game, Javo beat Derek 119 to 93, so that's another 25, 27 point win. Don't really have any notes on that one. Javo moved to 3-0, so he's right up there near the top of the league. Derek still cannot change his name yet. He hasn't won a game since then, so I'm going to keep it at that. Okay, the two closest matchups of the week. We had Keaton beating Brand 137 to 125. So 125 for Brand, third highest points of the week for the league, and unfortunately gets a loss, so that's kind of a tough break. Keaton won, obviously, because of our boy Mahomes had a huge day. And then Rex Burkhead. You started Rex Burkhead. No clue why. No reason to even honestly have him on your team. But you got away with that one somehow. Brand lost with Alvin Kamara and Tyler Lockett combining for 60 points together and still lost. So tough break, Brand. Next one was the closest matchup of the week. AJ beating Rob 124 to 120. Man, AJ's in first place in the league, 3-0, highest scoring team so far. Josh Allen at quarterback has been incredible. Great value probably, and then just keeps scoring touchdowns. Rob, I know Rob was complaining about scoring 120 points and losing. It is kind of a bad break, but you also got 29 points from your defense, which is a total outlier. So it probably wasn't really as close, or shouldn't have been as close as it looks, at least in my opinion. But hey, you still have a good team, and you'll be right there, I'm sure. But you'll get your first win eventually. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings, and we'll be back to talk a little bit about upcoming week and some other things. All right, there's your standings. I thought it was interesting that there is a lot of parity in the league. There's a couple 3-0s, a couple 0-3s, and then everybody kind of stacked up in the middle. We're going to get some interesting matchups this week that might break some ties. So first off, myself and Kyler are playing. We're both 1-2, so somebody's going to get back to 500, and someone's going to hit that 1-3 mark, which is not a great start to the year. we've got Ross and Javo, who are both 3-0. So they're at second and third respectively, or maybe not respectively, second and third in the league. I'm not sure who's who. So one of those teams is going to be 4-0 and have a great start. Other team, if you lose that game, it's not the end of the world. You're still probably in the top half of the league. Brand and Derek. Brand's 1-2. Derek is 0-3. Derek's going to be trying to get in the win column so he can change his name back to whatever he wants. Keaton and Rob will be going against each other. Looks like Keaton's 1-2, Rob's 0-3. Rob's team's definitely better than 0-3, so we'll see if he can get his first win of the year. And then another big matchup near the top of the league, Mullins and AJ. Mullins 2-1. Actually, Mullins is the only 2-1 team. AJ is 3-0. First place against fourth place, so that could be another big one. AJ could really step his game up and take a commanding lead in the league, or Mullins could kind of bring him back down to earth a little bit. In terms of names, like I said, Kyler needs to change his name to whatever Ross chooses. Mullins can change his name back to whatever he chooses. Derek is still stuck with his current name. Chaos Rule. Javo has texted me earlier today and said that he's also going to use his Chaos Rule this week against Ross Wilson and make him sit Russell Wilson. So Ross, 2 weeks in a row. You survived it this week though, so maybe you'll be able to do the same. Anybody else who wants to consider using their Chaos Rule needs to let me know by the end of the day tomorrow, Wednesday, so I can let the other owner know and they can adjust accordingly. Waivers go through tonight, so don't forget about that. There's also some news going around about some teams and some COVID issues this week. Maybe have some games that might get postponed or rescheduled. Keep an eye out for that. We have IR spots for a reason. I think if those teams get postponed, you might be able to put those people on IR, but I'm not 100% sure unless they actually have the virus. Don't know what's happening with that. Just keep an eye out. I think there's possibly 2 games, so 4 teams that might get rescheduled. I have a feeling that teams would, find the players that actually tested positive, test everybody else. If everybody else is negative, they'll probably still play the games and just quarantine the other players, but you never know. So keep an eye out for that. That's about all I have. The Thursday night game, Broncos and Jets, hang on, it's gonna be ugly. It sounds like if the Jets lose, their coach is gonna get fired, so that might be fun to watch. Us Chiefs fans have to play the Patriots this week. We know they've always been a tough team for us, but now no Tom Brady, so let's see if we can get to 4-0. That would be nice. So again, let me know if you want to use your Chaos Rule. Other than that, have a great week, and I will talk to you probably next week. See you guys.